The Chicago market has slowed and transactions are way down, but is it because the market is bad? Who has it worse? Buyers, sellers, or is it not bad at all? It turns out that Chicago actually had the fastest home price growth than all the other US metro areas in May. And in April, it was second only to Miami. That's right. And people are coming back to the city in droves. Let's discuss. This is the Q2 market wrap up, where we take a look at the data over the past 3 months to help us determine the best path forward. If you're looking to buy, sell in Chicago this year, you're going to need to stay tuned because we are breaking down all the action. We're actually going to go into all the 77 different neighborhoods of Chicago to determine where the top 3 opportunities to buy are. These stats are taken from data provided by the Realtors Association of Chicago, MRED, CoreLogic, and Zillow. Let's jump right into it. So we have the Q1 top 3 average sales prices for all single-family homes in the city. Number 1 coming in is near North Side at just above $3.3 million. Lincoln Park coming in at number 2 at just above $2.3 million. And near South Side just below $1.9 million. Not a surprise here. All 3 very desirable neighborhoods, and they all kind of take each other's 1, 2, 3 spot every single quarter. But what I really like to do is I like to look at the trends. If you look at Q1 to Q2, what areas have shown the most dramatic increase in average sales price growth in that specific time frame, because it can show us the trends of where to look for Q3 and Q4 on where demand is going. When you're looking at the top 3 areas that show the most significant average price growth, you have number 1, New City. This is an area just south of McKinley Park, up 73% from Q1 to Q2. McKinley Park has been of hot interest in the last few years. So New City has been really enjoying and absorbing that growth by being a partnering neighborhood. Number 2, South Shore, up 42%. Not a surprise at all. Obama Center is getting really close to getting done. At least there's a lot of action, a lot more talk about it. People have been investing in South Shore for the last few years due to this. Hyde Park obviously helping with those increase in values too. By the way, the average price there right now is $240,000. So don't think that you're priced out of it. It's just a great area to look into for potential growth. West Garfield Park coming in at number 3, up 37%. Average price $176,000. Now, if you're a seller in these areas and you're thinking about selling, Q3 might be your time to put it on, Q3, Q4, just because we're seeing these trends emerge. Let's jump into market time. What is market time? Basically, lower market time just means more demand from buyers. It means a quicker absorption for that type of product. More buyers want it, aggressive buyers. So this is really a metric that I like to use. We're gonna start on the flip side though, the 3 areas that show the slowest market absorption, meaning the slowest, longest time to sell, highest market times. Number 3, Fuller Park at 306 days. This is an area west of Bronzeville. Where I see these trends, why these times are higher is because prices are just too high. And lots of sellers in these areas like Bronzeville, they see all of this excitement, all of this increase in value. They price their places too high. The market's very smart. They're not going to buy. You get longer market times, 306 days on average. Number 2, near Northside at 171 days. Might be a surprise, but near Northside has had some of the longest market times simply because it was hit really bad by the pandemic, and sellers have just been a little bit difficult to come to grips with the new values, and they're also willing to hold out. 171 days on average for single family homes to sell there. And number 3 is Burnside at 170 days coming in. This is just south of South Shore. Like I talk about other trends, South Shore has had a lot of interest, a lot of increase in values. Maybe sellers are just getting a little bit aggressive with their pricing, and they're having 170 days on market. Now let's flip the script. We're talking about the top 3 areas with the least market time, the quickest absorption, the most buyer demand in Q2 coming in at number 1, O'Hare, 9 days on average for a single family home to sell there. Near west or northwest side of Chicago has shown a lot of growth in the last few years. O'Hare is definitely showcasing just that. Near South Side coming in at 11 days. I personally think the story of Chicago in the next few years is going to be more so focused on the southern end of Chicago. Near South Side, just south of downtown, 11 days for a single family home on average to get absorbed by the market. Really interesting stat. And number 3 is Kenwood, continuing on with Southside having a day in the real estate at 14 days on average for a single family home to sell there. Now, we're going to talk about trends in the amount of time, in the market time specifically, because I like to see from Q1 to Q2 what 3 areas have shown the quickest absorption rates on average when you're looking at both those Q1 and Q2, because then it can predict where Q3 and Q4 are going. Number 1 was near South Side. Homes sold 35 times faster, meaning it's down 11 days from an average of 396 days from Q1 to Q2. That's definitely an area to be watching out for. Kenwood, again, not a surprise here. 24 times faster homes were selling there from Q1 to Q2, down to 14 days. And O'Hare coming in at number 3 at 10 times faster with an average market time of 9 days. All right, let's dive into what all my investors like to listen to, which is the multi-unit report. We're talking about 2 to 4 unit buildings in Q2. What's going on with that Chicago multifamily market? Which neighborhoods are hot? Which ones are not? We look at the cold hard facts, and here are the key takeaways for the real estate investors of Chicago looking to potentially buy or sell a multi-unit. We're going to start off with the top 3 average sales prices in Q2 for Chicago multi-units in the city. Number 1 at near North Side at just above 1.8 million. Lincoln Park coming in at just below 1.3 million, and Lakeview is a number 3 at just above $1 million. All right, let's begin with market time. Interesting stat because it shows buyer demand, buyer interest. Lower market time means more buyer demand and vice versa. So we're gonna actually start with which 3 areas had the most market time, meaning taking the longest to sell. At number 1, near North Side at 431 days. It's a bit of an interesting fact. Again, everybody thinks near North Side, such strong demand, but the prices are just still too high to be able to absorb the type of demand that people want. Higher interest rates is just really holding back that real estate. Number 2 coming in is Pullman at 221 days. This is just south of Chatham. Chatham has been a strong interest, great price growth. So I just think, again, sellers are a little bit aggressive on their pricing. So they're pricing it too high for buyers to be able to absorb the multi-unit. And number 3 was Fuller Park at 184 days on average to move a multi-unit. All right, now let's flip the script. We're gonna be talking about the 3 areas with the least market time, meaning the quickest absorption. Number 1 is Dunning. This is an area just west of Portage Park, which has been super hot, got overly expensive, but still very strong rental market. Average of 7 days for a multi-unit to get absorbed in Dunning. Number 2 is Calumet Heights. This is just south of South Shore, coming in at 7 days. And for the tie for the number 3, so I guess they're both in second place, is South Deering, also south of South Shore at 7 days. South Shore, a great draw for money. There's a lot of people coming in, building out these investment properties, lots of apartments. So Calumet Heights and South Deering are just part of that trend, and you're seeing that with how quickly these multi-units are getting absorbed. Now it's my favorite time to predict how I think Q3 and potentially Q4 is going to play out. The way I do that is I take a look at the Q1 and Q2 data, mesh that together, and I do 2 specific value points, which is which areas from Q1 to Q2 had the quickest market absorption, meaning buyers are absorbing these the quickest. So Q3 should continue that trend, possibly to Q4, and vice versa, as well as the market average sales price. Which 3 areas have had the highest increase in average sales price from Q1, Q2 to allow that trend to continue for Q3. So number 1 is we're going to talk about the quickest market absorption from Q1 to Q2. Number 1 is Norwood Park at 14 times faster. An average of 10 days it took for a multi-unit to sell, this is just west of Jefferson Park, strong area. Lots of interest. Norwood Park at number 1 at 14 times faster. Number 2, Morgan Park at 7 times faster. This is just south of Beverly. Just an average of 13 days for multi-units to sell there. And number 3 is North Park at 5 times faster with 12 days on average. This is an area just around North Park University. Lots of student housing there. So a lot of people are investing for great potential rental market. Now we're going to jump into the average sales prices. Which 3 areas have shown the strongest price growth from Q1 to Q2? Number 1 is Fuller Park, up 182%, Average multi-unit price, $254,000. Not bad. Number 2, Uptown, up 82% at an average of $908,000. Again, south of $1 million. And number 3 is Hermosa. This is an area west of Logan Square, up 72% at an average of $515,000. If you are a seller in these areas, very interesting time to look into selling your home because the market absorbing. And if you're a buyer, look at these areas because they're still very affordable, strong price growth, meaning there's going to be a lot of interest in rental demand coming up, lots of investment going on in that area. So your dollar should be going further there. If you want to see how your neighborhood ranks, I have an entire spreadsheet, a full PDF that goes over all 77 neighborhoods. Please reach out to me. Be more than happy to provide that for you. This is a must-have resources for buyers and sellers that are looking to transact in Q3 and Q4 of 2023. Sign up to our newsletter to get your free PDF as well. We rank all 77 neighborhoods in each category. Again, a must-have resource for buyers and sellers in Chicago. The link is in my description. That's all I have. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it.